And we are back live. Charlie Shanks up against Tom Little here for the men's round of 16 at the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. And there's the first serve. This broadcast brought to you by First Star Sports, where you can up your game and dress just like the pros. This is the opening rally. Charlie Shanks came out at the last tournament and played amazing. Should have actually made the finals.
Side out.
I mean, he was playing that good, defeating Nadi Alvarado 21-3 in the first game 2 weeks ago at the Jake Plummer hell of a handball bash, and then lost the second game and then lost 11-10 in the breaker. And that's that Tommy Little dump shot in the left corner. Tommy plays for the Tucson Gunslingers.
1-0.
Believe it or not, Charlie Shanks is also a gunslinger.
Point.
Two teammates going at it here. Both vying for points.
2-0.
In the race for 8. 2-0 is the call. Tommy Little serving to Charlie Shanks. Charlie from Ireland, but living in New Jersey right now in the United States. He works for IBM.
0-2. One, two. Together at 2.
Here's that was the replay brought to you by Science.
Two all.
2 serves 2. This is Tommy Little. And a terrible hand air right there from Charlie Shanks.
2 all. Oh, I'm sorry. 3-2, you're right. 3 serves 2. Point. Four, 2. Short. 1 serve. Point. Five, 2.
And a timeout called from Charlie Shanks.
1 minute.
Nice
Charlie
run right
Shanks
here
first. 6-2.
Timeout called here from Charlie Shanks as he finds himself down 6-2. This is the men's round of 16 action. You are watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball and the WPH Race for 8 alongside Simple Green. This is stop number 2. In 2 weeks, we'll have another pro stop in Tucson, Arizona. It's also alongside the Yes to Kids Foundation Handball Tournament. You can go on to r2sports.com and register now for either the qualifier or the age divisions. It is also in conjunction with the Arizona State Handball Championship. So if you're from out of state, feel free to enter. You could win yourself a state championship even if you're in another state. Earlier today, it was Sean Lenning defeating Nelson Quintero from Florida. 21-9, 21-17.
20 seconds.
Robbie McCarthy over Armando Ortiz, 21-10, 21-12. Andy Nett defeats Dave Fink in a tiebreaker, 11-4. Nate Alvarado over John Iglesias, 21-13, 21-16. And Luis Moreno defeats Dan Armijo, 21-16, 21-5. This is the Tommy
6,
Little, Charlie Shanks
serves
match.
2.
And Tommy looks incredible right now, like it could have been a short ball.
That didn't make it. Point. 7-2. Short. We don't have linesmen. Are you linesmen? Oh well. One serve.
This is Tommy's second consecutive matchup, Dave, against the Irish. Falling in 2 games to Desi Keegan at the Plummer event. Both these guys, Dave, really wild cards. You don't know what to expect from them. These guys can play top 5 level handball, Dave, and they can
Point.
play somewhere far from that.
8-2.
38-year-old Tommy Little serving.
One
Charlie
serve.
Shanks.
Nearly a second serve ace there from Tommy, but it's Charlie moving in and fist killing that shot with his left hand.
2-8.
Very
Side out.
strange shot there from Charlie Shanks. Looked like he changed his mind there at the last instant. Looked like he was thinking about going to the ceiling, Dave, and then at the last second tried to
8-2.
spike kill.
Short. Second serve. Point.
Beautiful Z serve there from Tommy Little as that ball just died in the back right corner.
9-2.
You heard the score right there from the referee. Look at that shot right there from Charlie Shanks. Let's look at that on the replay. Backhand, right hand, behind the hand, actually.
Behind the hand? Back of the hand.
Back of the hand.
2-9.
Backhand, behind the hand shot. Look at this. It's a strange
Very
shot right
strange.
there.
Never seen it.
Seems successful. You might want to try that one more often.
The late, great Marv Burke
3-9.
from Detroit, Michigan, Dave,
Oh, there was I didn't
taught
see
me
it.
that shot.
Okay, replay. 2-9.
It was actually Marv Burke. It's okay.
Is
you
it
have
okay?
Short.
You have a soft
Serve.
AE sound on your A's.
Well, that's how Pittsburghers pronounce the AE.
Okay.
It's called Pittsburghese. Nice fly kill
Point.
there from Charlie Shanks.
3-9.
Charlie Shanks, Dave, a little bit unorthodox. Likes to kill the ball from shoulder height. When he's on, it's a tremendous shot.
4-9.
We haven't really seen Charlie play any really bad matches here in the United States, Dave. Every time he's played, he's been very competitive, nearly knocking off
5-9.
Luis Moreno and Alan Garner on several occasions. Did beat Sean Lenning on one occasion. Frustrating air there for Tommy Little, Dave, because all he's trying to do is scoop that ball back into play. Really not taking any chance with that shot. We'll take a quick instant replay of that, but you hate to make an error, Dave, when all you're trying to do is just hit a rally ball. It's one thing, Dave, to make an error when you're going for your shot.
Let's look at that replay here, brought to you by Owen Gloves.
As you can see, Tommy's just trying to scoop that ball into the front wall, right side wall, but just completely missing it.
I also believe one year Charlie took Emmett Peixote to a tiebreaker, but then he lost to John Iglesias in Texas, I recall.
That was actually in Boston, 2008.
Very energized crowd we have here.
Really?
This timeout called, brought to you by Tucson Rolling Shutters, locally owned but nationally known.
You're the linesman?
For your business, your
Okay.
your retail outlet, your home, your commercial use, Tucson Rolling Shutters at TucsonRollingShutters.com.
All right, time's in. Let's go.
Dan Armijo, for the first time I've ever seen, Dave, is on top of the stopwatch. Didn't even know he knew how to tell time.
6 serves.
He's a free
9.
spirit.
6 serves 9. I thought that ball was short.
Point.
I thought it was good. Charlie Shanks, Dave, a little bit like Fernando Valenzuela, he almost turns his body
7-9.
away from the front wall while he's serving. You remember the great Fernando Valenzuela, Dave, actually looking
Side
towards.
out.
I thought that ball was good. We can take an instant replay of that, but it sounded good and came up good. But actually looks away from the plate and then pitches.
9-7.
Here's a big setup here for Charlie.
Wow,
And
that
he
ball
takes
just
care of it.
jumps off the ground.
Side out.
Crushed by Charlie Shanks.
Seven, 9. Point.
No lead is safe against Charlie Shanks, Dave.
8-9.
Not with that serve.
You see that thing? It just cracked out over there. Now we're all together at
Point.
9.
And you know, Dave, when you're aced a couple times in a
Together
row,
at 9.
you're become just a little bit more tense. And Dave, when you see that next serve coming that's not as great a serve that comes off the back wall, you're just tense enough, Dave, where you make that error. Nice pick up there from Charlie, and actually does something with it, and he'll run in and catch up to that. And this is a great rally here, Dave. That ball looked like it slid. They'll play through it, though. Tremendous rally, great effort there from both guys, Dave. Both guys having great chances to win that rally. Both guys really hustling here. You can see how much this means to them.
10-9.
This was the shot that Charlie should have ended the rally with, but didn't.
Hold it, hold it. Sorry, Tommy. Screen. Sorry, it was, I
And
should have let that
we
go.
don't see the play now that Tommy and Dan are arguing about, but you have to think it was probably
I
a
won't
pretty
do that
terrible
again.
call if Tommy Little's
It
arguing.
was right by his body. I thought you didn't see it.
Not sure, Dave, if our committee will be fining our cameraman.
No,
here
no,
or not.
I
oh,
think
they
we
actually
could pick
have,
it up.
Oh, they have this? Okay.
I think they're going to fine you for.
Oh, okay.
10-9.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
That was a screen right there. A huge setup off the back wall. Terrible call from the referee.
And look what it does here to Tommy Little. Instead of being in the service box, he's now aced. Very unfortunate break there. And as you said, Dave, it was
11-9.
Tommy Little getting off to a great start here early in this first game, but it's been all Charlie
Side
Shanks
out.
since.
Well, actually, it was Tommy was up 9-2. It's been a 9-0 run.
9-11.
Moment
for Charlie
of
Shanks.
silence. And we're back. Nice left-hand back wall shot there from Tommy, and he finishes it off with a beautiful
Point.
left corner kill.
And there's a point for Tommy Little. Now at 10-11, this is the first game. Tommy had a nice, comfortable lead, but Charlie picked away at it with that amazing serve.
Well, I would say picking at a lead, Dave, is
10,
scoring
11.
3 and Tommy scoring 1, and then scoring
Short.
4 and Tommy scoring 2. He actually just went on a 9 consecutive point run.
One
That's
serve.
not really picking.
Well, he did it in 3 innings.
Go ahead.
He picked 3 at a time.
Perhaps our terminology is a little bit off. Oh, that's a beautiful shot from Charlie
Side
Shanks.
out.
Using the pace of that Tommy Little overhand tomahawk, just catching the ball in the heel of his hand and rolling it in the right corner. That's a great shot, particularly
11,
Dave,
10.
when you're facing the kind of power that you see at the top of this sport.
One serve.
Charlie Shanks, Dave, living in New Jersey now for 2 years. Look at that left-hand fist from Charlie. Nice 2-wall pass. This is a beautiful defensive rally here. Both guys waiting for the mistake. And it's Charlie jamming
Point.
Tommy Little there. It's a very good shot, Dave. When you don't have the kill shot opportunity, the ball merged a little bit too close to the side wall, and he's about 38 feet with his left hand, so he just drove the ball right at Tommy's feet,
Oh, he did.
handcuffed him.
12 serves 10.
Tommy turned up and asked the ref if Tommy was serving that one.
This match, Dave,
Replay.
actually has huge ranking ramifications. One of these guys could be jumping into the top 8, and another one could be jumping out. Right now, it's Tommy Little in that number 7 spot. Charlie Shanks, Dave,
Side out.
in that number 10 spot. So they could actually flop here, and it could be Tommy Little
10,
in the
12.
qualifier at the Tucson Pro Stop, and Charlie
Point.
Shanks, one of the invited 8.
11, 12.
Right now, though, Dave, it's too close to call.
Tommy's keeping this close.
But you're right, Dave. It was Charlie Shanks losing here in the first round in 2008 to Emmett Peixote. Just an incredible match. It was Charlie serving about as well as I've ever seen anyone serve
Nice
in that
shot.
match, Dave. Won that first game 21-14, lost 21-16, then lost 11-7 in the tiebreaker. Tremendous match.
12 all.
This is the first game, 2-21. Tiebreakers played to 11. I think Tommy's pace is what's keeping him in the game here. He's picking his moments,
Point.
forcing Charlie to make a mistake.
Timeout. It's your second.
I agree with you, Dave. It's Charlie having to play at a pace with which he's not accustomed and not necessarily enjoying. Likes to play, Dave, as you call it, the ground and pound, where Tommy's much more of the slow and methodical.
You are watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball and WPH Race for 8 Pro Stop here in Fountain Valley, California. We're at Los Caballeros Sports Village. We appreciate the fact that you've tuned in to this broadcast. Men's round of 16 pro action here courtside at Los Cab with Charlie Shanks and Tommy Little battling it out. Tied at 12 just a second ago. Now Little has a point, and Little
10
is serving.
seconds. Let's go.
You see the scoreboard, which is powered by Zions, the official sports drink of the UFC. And Tommy Little's wearing his Tucson Gunslinger shirt, provided by First Star Sports, where you can up your game and play just like the pros. Go online to firststarsports.com/WPH.
Thirteen serves 12.
13-12. That's
Beautiful shot from Charlie Shanks there, Dave. Great upper body strength. Finds the right corner.
12-13.
Nice dig there from Tommy. And another nice dig. Charlie's hit now 3 perfect shots in a row, but it's Tommy Little neutralizing the rally. Now he's got the back wall set up.
Charlie's got the shot.
And Charlie makes the most difficult
Point.
setup that he had in the entire rally. Had 5 good chances to end the rally there. Tommy Little digging out every kill shot attempt, and it was Charlie falling back and finding the bottom board.
Together 13.
I haven't seen anyone yet, Dave, look comfortable off the back wall adjusting to this new ball. And you know players aren't comfortable, Dave, when you see them using that scoop swing. And
Charlie
I know, Dave,
looks-
you know what I'm talking about. That was a nice swing off the back wall, but
You mean as a return of serve using that underhand?
I'm not actually talking about the back wall going to that scoop swing
Oh.
rather than the sidearm snap swing. And that shows me that the players really aren't anticipating
14-13.
how the ball is coming off the back wall. Nice return from Tommy. Anytime, Dave, that you can put your opponent in the backcourt at 38 feet on the return of serve, you've hit a great return.
Charlie scoring a point.
15-13.
Uncharacteristic there, Dave, to see Tommy Little missing that kind of shot from the
One
backcourt.
serve.
Not a good serve there.
Yeah.
He left that Z serve
Yeah.
way up, Dave. It was about 30 feet. Tommy Little buries it into that left corner.
13-15.
Tommy back into the server's box. See what he can do with this one.
And you see that scoop swing again there, Dave, and looked like
Side
Tommy
out.
nearly got away with it. But Charlie is long, Dave, and he just seems to cover the court without really having to move his feet. He's very tall for a handball player, Dave. He's about 6'1". And let's watch this pickup here from
13.
Charlie. Just reaches out that long limb there, just enough. We come back in, and it's Charlie with a big setup, buries it in the left corner. I don't know, Dave, if he goes for the corner first there, if he's trying to hit the front wall, side wall. Either way, though,
16.
it's
Hold it.
a very effective shot.
16-13.
Nice dump kill from
Side
Tommy.
out.
Not a good shot, though, from Charlie Shanks, who had a big opening, didn't take advantage of it.
Tommy Little back in the box.
13-16.
We played a 21.
And that was the
Point.
shot that Charlie wants there. Inexplicably skipping that ball, Dave.
14-16. No.
Tommy only 2 points away from Charlie here.
One serve.
Beautiful return there. That was a mouse, a flat
Time's out.
kill from Charlie Shanks. That ball was literally hit
16-14.
1/2 inch high. Good serve from Charlie. And Tommy reads that well. And this is a point Charlie should have won, Dave, 2 shots ago. And now the rally's been neutralized by Tommy. Not a good shot. Here's a setup for Tommy. And Tommy goes to a punch. Didn't look
Side
like he was
out.
actually trying to kill that ball, Dave, but he hits it about 3 inches high. Looked like he was trying to pass this shot
Actually,
down the left.
to me, it looks like he's just out of breath and he's trying to just, he doesn't move his feet.
Timeout. Tommy, you're
Yeah,
second.
there's something going on with Tommy
Score
here.
is 14-16.
You'll see it with his body language. He did that with his opponent standing in front of him. He hit the ball right back at him with an underhand punch shot.
It's a strange shot selection there, Dave.
Well, I saw him take a couple breaths afterwards, and I was wondering maybe he's just, you know, he's tired. And
Well,
then he calls a timeout.
Jennifer.
That was a 29-shot rally there, Dave, and as you know, anything after 20, you start to really feel your lungs and your legs.
Look at me, I'm official.
This has been
Look
very
at me, I'm
physical
very
first
official
game here,
here.
Dave. We haven't had many breaks in the action.
You haven't had many breaks in the action. What were you saying there?
Well, there haven't been many timeouts thus
yeah.
far in this game. We haven't had many
Myron.
towel timeouts. It's been pretty constant.
11-10.
As our referee, jarring back and forth here at courtside, and everyone gets along here. This is the U.S. Open of Handball, where friends and family come out every single year, and it's time to meet up with some past friends that you might not have seen in a while. For these two, it was just 2 weeks ago at the Jake Plummer Hell of a Handball Bash.
Well, everyone gets along, Dave, as long as you and I keep our headsets on and don't talk to any of our frenemies.
That's true.
I think you're,
That's when things become a little bit awkward. That's why we stay to ourselves.
That's why
We
when people
retreat immediately to our apartment after the production ends.
I literally talked to only 3 people at the tournament. I just put the headset on and they know they talk to me, but I never talk back.
point.
Ooh, I'm surprised our referee there not
You're
giving
all the way over you.
Charlie Shanks the call there. He was completely screened, Dave. You have to take
I don't know
Charlie's
what
word
the-
for it
it
there
was
because
way
that ball
over
was
to the
hit so
left.
slow and he was standing
It was
right
way
there,
over
Dave.
here, and you were wide open.
Let's take an instant replay of this and you'll see what Charlie's talking about. Let's
No,
watch this here,
what
Dave.
What are you saying? Oh no, the ball was down the left line. I don't
Charlie
know
was
how you
actually
couldn't see
on
it.
the left. I'm
It's a
not sure
point.
what our referee is saying. Okay, so Charlie was
15,
behind Tommy there, but certainly looked like
16.
he had a good play on that ball had he seen it.
Well,
Short.
he banked himself behind Tommy and then looked up to the ref and asked for a hinder. I mean, you put yourself in a bad position.
Second serve.
That was a terrible second serve there from Tommy, and it sets up that fly
Side
kill
out.
opportunity from Charlie Shanks, who executes it perfectly. I think that Tommy Little does have 15 here.
16-15.
And I'll make a little note of that
Point.
on my score sheet there, Dave. Fortunately, Dave, all fines go directly into our pockets. We split them, sort of like waitresses at the end of the night, Dave, when they
17,
collect their tips.
15.
They pool the tips. Well, we pool the fines. We take ourselves out for a nice night on the town.
Point.
I actually used my fine money, Dave, to upgrade my plane ticket to first class on the way home on my last trip.
18-15.
This is a very important rally for Tommy
Point.
Little to win, and he does. You certainly don't want to be
Side out.
receiving
Sorry.
serve at 19-15 15-18, much more manageable if Tommy Little's able, Dave, to have a productive inning here. He can reclaim the momentum that's gone back and forth. We've had 8 lead changes already in this first game. That just shows you how competitive this matchup has been, and you'd expect that, Dave, from an 8 versus 9 match. This is really a flip of the coin.
You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball men's round of 16 action here on a Thursday in sunny Southern California. Fountain Valley is where we're at.
15-18.
Just about a mile or 2 away from Santa Ana, and about 3 miles away from Huntington Beach, 5 miles from Newport Beach. We're here in the thick of God's country.
Point.
This is God's country?
Well, if he actually rode a surfboard, yes.
And he liked to shop at strip
16-18.
malls.
Well, yes.
Short.
Because they have a lot of them here. In fact, they're endless.
One serve.
See, Tommy's going to serve to the left here. He tries to sell it by looking to the right and serving to the left. That's his trigger. Boy, that ball just comes off fast when Charlie hits it.
And Charlie,
Side
fortunate
out.
there, catches that right side wall, and the ball just stays down. Tommy Little was there, Dave.
Yeah, but it looks like he's going for that. I mean, why else would you take it from that position? The ball, you have to be going for that crack.
Well, if he's going for that, then there's shots that I don't know about in this
16.
game.
Well, you need to start watching some Charlie Shanks handball.
Long. One serve.
Touche.
Here's a setup for Tommy.
And Tommy buries it in that
Side
left
out.
corner. Beautiful shot.
16-18.
Not a good air there from Tommy Little. This is similar, Dave, to that
Side's
first
out.
game that Tommy Little lost to Desi Keegan in Idaho 2 weeks ago. He lost that first game 21-17. It was close throughout.
18-16.
Tommy telling me after that match, Dave, that he felt like he had so much energy in
Short.
that second game despite losing at 21-3 that he didn't know what to do with himself. It's kind of a strange thing to say after you've lost a close first game
One
and then
serve.
a lopsided second game, but he said that
One
fitness
serve.
had nothing
Yeah,
to do
they
with
agree.
it.
Short.
If
it was
anything,
short.
it sounded like his fitness
One
might have
serve.
hurt him, Dave. He had so much energy that
Tommy didn't know where to put his feet on that one. Here's a huge setup for Tommy. Goes back to that corner.
like that shot there from Tommy Little.
Well, it seems to be automatic for him. That's why I'm announcing the huge setup, because he hasn't missed one.
16-18.
16 serves 18, 2 points
Hold it
away.
short.
Oh, that looked like a good serve.
Tommy does not argue.
One serve.
Tommy Davis converted more back wall kill shot opportunities at a higher percentage than anybody we've seen thus far today.
Side out.
As a means of comparison, Dave, it was Nadi Alvarado Jr. converting just 19% of his back wall kill shot attempts with his right hand. Tommy Little has converted 53% thus far in this first game.
18.
Thank you to Gene Casimoto for those detailed stats.
Yeah, it sounds really detailed.
I mean, Dave, it's one thing to say how many aces a player has, but quite another,
Check the
Dave.
ball.
The
And
ball
that
broke.
was a broken ball. Bad luck there for Charlie Shanks, as that was an unreturnable ball. But you can see just how hard Gene Casimoto Kastner works here, Dave. She crunches the numbers. She makes us look good when, well, let's just say it's not an easy task.
I just gave to that guy.
We're at Los Caballeros Sports Village in Fountain Valley, California. It's the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball alongside broadcast partner and perennial top 6. It was, now it's going to be top 8. Dave Fink,
18,
after
16 over.
losing to Andy Nett in the round of 16, sorry.
Well, you're just reporting. It's your job. Beautiful back
Wow.
wall kill there from Charlie Shanks. Just an incredible left hand. We didn't expect to see that shot there, Dave. I mean, a left hand 6 inches from the left side wall, and he drills the ball right back down the left wall. One of the most difficult shots in the game.
19,
And Charlie put so much reverse on that ball there, Dave, and Tommy just doesn't adjust to it. The ball bouncing into the sidewall and popping out at 90 degrees. Tommy Little just looked like he was playing hot potatoes there with both hands, didn't know which hand to
20,
use.
16.
20 serve 16.
Not a good serve there. And Tommy unable to build on that 53% backwall kill opportunity conversion rate. And Tommy had a good look at that ball there.
5 minutes.
Entertaining game there, Dave, between
Yeah.
two very evenly matched guys. I mean, Tommy Little, the veteran, we say that so much. He's 38 years young, and Charlie Shanks, sort of a newcomer on the American scene. We've seen him sporadically, but this year we'll be seeing a lot of him, and he's already establishing himself, Dave, as a potential not only top 5 player, but winner of some of these big events. I mean, he nearly defeated Nadi Alvarado last week. That would have put him in the semifinals, and here he is today, now 1 game from advancing to the quarterfinals, where it was last year Charlie Shanks took 6th place here. Tommy Little took 8th place here.
You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. This is the conclusion of game number 1. We have more
Playing
action
good. You got this.
coming up right around the corner. We are going to take a quick break here courtside. I want you to stick around for game number 2 in just a bit. For Dave Fink, I'm Dave Vincent. We'll be back in just a bit at racefor8.com.
Hello, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. Our non-toxic, biodegradable, all-purpose cleaner works great for cleaning it. Thank you. Non-toxic, biodegradable, Simple Green. It's great for cleaning.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
For 20 years, the Inner City Handball Association has educated, mentored, and served young people through handball. Young people that participate in the Inner City Handball Association programs have a high graduation rate from high school and continue on to college. Inner City Handball teams are good athletes, good students, and good ambassadors for the sport of handball. We need your help to continue our work. Inner City Handball Association is a registered 501c3 tax-exempt charity. Please donate today. Thank you.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
And we are back live here courtside in Los Caballeros Sports Village in Fountain Valley, California. It's a Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Dave Vincent alongside David Fink. First game went to Charlie Shanks, 21-16 over Tommy Little. This is the men's semifinals. Earlier today, it was Sean Lenning over Nelson Quintero from Miami, Florida. Sean Lenning scored 21 2 games in a row, and poor Nelson only got 9 and 7. As we look at that Robbie McCarthy, Armando Ortiz match, it was all McCarthy, 21-10, 21-12. Andy Nett over my broadcast partner, Dave Fink, 21-10. Andy scores 14 the next game, but then comes back and wins the tiebreaker 11-4. Nadi Alvarado over John Iglesias, 21-13, 21-16. And Luis Moreno takes down Dan the Hand Armijo, 21-16, 21-5. They told me that Luis was down in that first game, 15-9, and came back and won 21-16. Here, though, it was Charlie Shanks outscoring Tommy Little 21-16 in the first game. It's a Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball, and tomorrow's quarterfinal matches. People are asking, am I going to be on the show court? How does that work? Well, the quarterfinals, and from the quarters all the way to the finals, Dave, there will be all show court action for the men pros. Sean Lenning versus Robbie McCarthy tomorrow at 12:30 in the afternoon. That kicks off the action for the men. And then at 2 o'clock, it'll be Nate Alvarado versus Andy Nett. And then Luis Moreno is going to play the winner of the Dave Chapman-Alan Garner match at 5 p.m. At 3:30 in the afternoon, number 1 seed Alan Garner will face either Charlie Shanks or Tommy Little. In the women's round of 16, we will start getting updates tomorrow as their first round happens on Friday. But we have Aisling Riley as the number 1 seed. Megan Mihilis, who lost to Aisling last year, is the number 2 seed. And then we have some other interesting matchups, and of course that will be also aired here on the live broadcast engine, provided by First Star Sports and Zions, the official sports drink of the UFC. First Star is a clothing company that suits up the pros. You can up your game and play just like the pros, actually. As we get back in, 0-0, Tommy Little in the blue shirt serving to Charlie Shanks. You heard the score. It's 0-0.
One serve.
Surprised Tommy not shooting that ball, Dave. He was in a good position there at about
Side out.
28 feet with his right hand on a ball right in his wheelhouse, punch it back to the ceiling, and end up losing the point as a result. I think, Dave, particularly when you're serving, have to look to be a little bit more aggressive if you're Tommy Little in that position. Tommy's got a great right hand. And look at Charlie come over that with a fist, and Tommy does well. And look at Tommy keep this rally alive, Dave. And Tommy wins the rally there with a nice left-handed kill. Let the ball drop nicely, came over it, and the ball stayed down. Well played point there from Tommy Little.
It's 0-0. Those are 2 side outs. 0 serve 0.
It was almost as if Tommy was looking at our scoreboard wondering why somebody called 1-0 when the referee never did call the score, but our scoreboard had 1 up there.
0-0.
Wow, there's
nice 2-wall crack pass there from Charlie Shanks. Beautiful shot.
1-0. It's good. 2-0. Point. 3-0.
Today is Jab's birthday. John Alvarado Bike is celebrating his 12th
I've actually wished him
Yesterday?
a happy birthday 6 times. Started on Monday, and I wish him it again
Point.
today.
I guess when you celebrate a birthday, you can walk around wearing pink headbands.
He's actually promoting breast cancer awareness, and you're
4-0.
mocking that.
No, no,
Kind of
I'm-
sad.
no. I feel strange now.
And look at that power from Charlie Shanks. Just an
Point.
incredible 2-wall pass there, Dave. That's the offensive V.
5-0.
We see the defensive V used quite a bit. And Dave, this is very similar to what we saw in Idaho with Tommy Little, who played a close first game against Desi Keegan, lost 21-17. Today it was a close first game against Charlie Shanks, losing 21-16, actually
6-0.
led 9-2, and now he's down 6-0. Remember, he lost game 2 to Desi Keegan, 21-3. And you have to wonder,
Side
Dave,
out.
maybe a little bit of mental lack of confidence for Charlie Shanks leading to these lopsided second
6.
games.
You heard the score, it's 0-6.
Point.
Make that 1-6.
And Dave, immediately following the Dave Chapman,
1-6.
Aaron Garner match will be the Race for 8 live post-game show.
Second serve.
We'll have various observations. We'll look forward
Point.
to matchups. We'll discuss today's matchups, and we'll discuss some other things, Dave. And the most
Watch
fun
for it.
part is that you don't know
2-6.
any of it. You'll just be
Short.
hit with all that information on the spot. You'll have no time to prepare. Your text
One serve.
messages won't help you, nor will your computer. You'll just have to sort of wing it, and I will call you out for every little mistake that you make.
And that's going to happen
Side out.
later this evening.
Well, the Dave Chapman, Aaron Rampage Garner match is scheduled for 6 p.m.
6-2.
I'm predicting a 7:15 kickoff to the Race for 8 live post-game
Point.
show. Now, you can quote me on that, but it could be 7 o'clock, it could be 7:30, but we know one thing
7-2.
for sure, Dave. You will be tuned in because nobody's going anywhere until the conclusion of today's action.
Can't wait for it.
Point.
And of course, Dave, tomorrow we'll kick off the day with the Race for 8 live breakfast at Los
8-2.
Caballeros. Yep,
Short.
it'll be breakfast for us, but in most
Second
regions,
serve.
Dave, it'll be an early lunch, possibly a late lunch.
Actually, for me, that'll be my 4th breakfast of
Point.
the morning. It may be your first at home. It'll be my 4th. And you can quote me on that.
9-2.
9 serves 2.
Well, we're
Wow.
actually staying together, Dave. And
Point.
I actually noticed that you set your alarm
Timeout.
for 3 different times during the night to eat.
It's called pre-planning. I may be
Well,
fat, but I'm
yeah.
also prudent.
Hmm.
Score here is 10-2. It's game number 2 between Charlie Shanks and Tom Little.
What happens here, Dave, is the A team buys up all the tickets for the bleacher seats here and the front row seats. And unfortunately, Dave, they don't sell the tickets by match. They sell them for the entire day. They consider day one session. So the A team has purchased all the tickets, and most of them, Dave, just head home after Nadia Alvarado clinches that opening victory. And that's why you see so many empty seats. Now, they do consider allowing people, Dave, to come into the crowd without a ticket just because they know the seats will be available. But as you know, Dave, you go to a football game or a basketball game, if you don't have a ticket and there's no scalpers, you pretty much go home. So a lot of people, Dave, just saying, well, I'm going to go home and I'm going to catch the action on my way home on my smartphone. And when I get home, I'll be, watching it on my laptop. A lot of people, though, Dave, converting the action from their laptop onto their flat screen TVs, Dave, and I know you do this as well with Google TV, and, you're watching
Ready,
handball on
start. Time in.
70 inches of HD TV.
Yeah, I had to throw away the plasma. It seems I'm just not liking the clarity.
No,
Seems
it's
kind of
10
slow and muggy
serves
to me.
2.
That's dead technology, if you ask me. And I know you didn't, but I gave you my opinion anyway. And that seemed, Dave, like a long break there. But it was Charlie Shanks coming back in and maintaining this run that he's put together
11
here.
serves 2.
Tommy Little, Dave, defending an 8th place finish here, which doesn't sound like much, Dave. But you have to remember, he'll be losing all the points that he accumulated here last year. Should he lose this match, that will drop him at least one spot in the rankings.
Side out.
Possibly
Out of the race?
possibly out of the top 8. We'll have to see how the numbers work out. Although, Dave, Armando
2-11.
Ortiz also lost today. He won't pick up any points here. But I think Tommy Little, depending on how Andy Nett does here tomorrow, may still maintain a slight edge over Andy Nett. Now, if Andy Nett should beat Nadia Alvarado tomorrow, I see him moving into that top 8
Side
and
out.
bumping Tommy Little out. Now, there's just so many scenarios, Dave.
11-2.
And you hear the A team there, Dave, wishing the future
Side out.
superstar Jab a happy birthday. I thought my wife enjoyed her birthday, Dave. It goes on for about 2 weeks. It's nothing
2-11.
like this, though. This is actually a 2-monther.
John Alvarado Bike celebrating a birthday right outside the courts here. Nice shot right there with the left hand from Charlie Shanks. Puts it 1 inch high on the front wall from 39 feet back.
With a family and fan club this big, Dave, you have to think just about every day is a birthday.
11-2.
I mean, there's at least 250 people over there singing. They also have about 300
Second serve.
cupcakes,
Wait.
yet we haven't been offered one,
Second serve.
unfortunately. And Charlie going with a power serve,
Point.
second serve that clears the short line by 2 inches and is just
12-2.
a perfect ace.
And it hopped 4 feet.
And Dave, that's the beauty of talking a little bit louder than you
13-2.
should. We actually now have cupcakes in hand.
Point.
Well, we have the actual camera that can show the
14-2.
cupcake. 14 serves 2.
Look at that hop. And Dave, a lot of people saying with this ball, including yourself, Dave, who's a
Point.
admitted top 5 hop artist in the game, saying that you really
got,
can't hop this ball.
3.
But if you watch,
Yeah, you got 2.
There it is. These are the cupcakes for John Alvarado Bike's birthday.
15-2.
this won't be the first cupcake you've ever eaten, nor will it be the first cupcake you've eaten in the last hour.
Nor will it be the first time you ever seen me on camera holding onto a cupcake in both hands.
Well, that's called two-fisting it.
I two-fisted the cupcakes here. John Alvarado Bike celebrating his 12th. These cupcakes look really good.
I actually played his dad when I was 12.
And
Lost in a tiebreaker. Just kidding. I lost 100-0. I probably should have lost 100 to -2 based on my behavior, looking back on that match.
15-2 is the score here. Game number 2. Charlie Shanks wins the first one 21-16 and up big in the second one. And you're right on the money when you talk about the comparisons between this one and what we saw 2 weeks ago when Tommy Little played Desi Keegan in Idaho, winning or losing the first game 21-17 there, coming back and losing the second one 21-3. Here, he lost the first one 21-16 and it's at 15-2.
You know, Dave, sort of a larger discussion is, does the experience really help a player, or, you know, does years of sort of losing in the quarterfinals and round of 16 actually leave you with so many battle scars that your confidence is diminished? And I think I'm seeing a little bit of that, Dave, and I know I'm going through it myself as I enter into my mid-30s. With Tommy Little here, does he really believe he's going to win these matches after losing that close first game? You know, at the Nationals, Dave, we saw Tommy
15-2.
Little play Dave Chapman so well in games number 1 and 2, won game number 1, 21-19, lost game 2, 21-18, and then it was as though
Point.
the lights went out and he just couldn't play anymore. He lost the tiebreaker 11-0 or 11-1. It was just similar to what we're seeing right now
16-2.
and similar to what we saw
Oh, yeah.
against Desi Keegan.
You have to remember he's 38 years old, Dave.
Side out.
And he's got old legs.
Well, it was Tommy Little, though, telling me he felt so fresh he
2,
didn't know what to do with himself.
16.
I'm just going by what he told me, Dave.
Point.
There's a point there for Tommy Little, bringing it to 3-16.
That was actually a post-match
3-16.
shower conversation that the two of us had.
Thank you for
You're
sharing
welcome.
that.
Well, I want to be completely honest.
Let's just keep it at that conversation. I'd hate to know what you were thinking while you're having that conversation.
Would you?
No,
Okay.
actually,
Point.
I do want to know, actually.
Right.
Four, 16. Point.
And Dave, we'll see if these pros pick up on just how difficult that ball is coming around the revolving door on the serve. If some of these pros start actually using that serve, hitting that hard deep
5,
two-wall serve
16.
that comes off the back wall, because it is a very difficult serve to return with this ball. And not to give too much away, Dave, and that's a nice pass shot from Tommy
Point.
Little, but we will be discussing the new 21 ball here on our Race for 8 live
Time.
post-game show.
Timeout.
Oh, we are. Well, there's the agenda. Oh, it's a secret agenda.
Well, like I said, I want you to be
Okay.
on your toes.
Okay, we're going to have a wrap-up program coming up right after the final match of the day, which will be between David Chapman and double A-Ron Garner. Rampage.
Dave Chapman seeded 4th here at this event. He's been the #1 seed in every event he has played, Dave, in the last 2 years, with the exception of the Nationals in 2010. Now he comes in here as a #4 seed. He's missed 2 of the last 5 pro stops, and he's also been bumped because Alan Garner's the defending champion here. So really shouldn't affect much, Dave, although he will have to play Luis Moreno in the quarterfinals, which is more like a semifinal match for him. So he'll have to go through 3 top 5 players to win this championship, hypothetically. And as you know, Dave, it's much more difficult to go through 3 top 5 players than it is to go through a #8 player and then a #4 player and perhaps a #2 player.
6.
So it's,
Serve 16.
remember though, Dave, we are playing only 1 match per day here. So he won't have to worry about playing 2 matches in the same day. But
That's
the
a nice-
quality of opponent, Dave, will be a little bit better starting in the quarterfinal.
Perfect shot right there
7,
from Tommy Little.
16.
Bringing it now to 7-16.
1 serve.
Crowd really quiet here courtside, but they've hung out and watched all the matches today. These are paid seats.
Well,
And you see a rotation of faces. in
I'd
on
like
that
to
crowd.
see you in a crowd. I never have, but you talk so much about how quiet the crowd is. What do you do in a crowd that is so different?
Constantly talking.
Mm.
Unlike this live broadcast where I let you
8. Serve.
do all the talking and-
16.
I drink a glass of water.
Short.
Gene Casimoto actually would disagree with
1
you
serve.
somewhat, saying that I speak 59% of the time, which I wouldn't call always.
Point.
It would be more a majority of the time, as a beautiful backwall kill
9,
from Tommy
16.
Little.
Score is 9-16. That's a
Point.
point right there from Tommy Little. Now making it
Timeout.
10-16, and Charlie Shanks has to call a
Score
timeout.
is 10, 16.
What happened in
Your
this
second
match?
Timeout.
Tommy's now within striking distance, and he stays on the court. He does not want to get his focus broken.
I had actually written Tommy his last rites here, Dave, in this event. But Tommy's had other ideas. He's known as Tiebreaker Tommy. Tommy will never stop fighting until the last point. You hear it's one of the oldest cliches in sports, Dave, but it certainly applies in this instance.
30 seconds. Fifteen seconds.
Charlie Shanks wisely using his timeouts, Dave. Tommy Little scored 4 consecutive points. He called a timeout, and he scored 3 more points, and he called another timeout. So Charlie Shanks knows what Tommy Little is capable of doing, despite still having this big
Time's
lead.
in. 10, 16.
It's been 6.5 minutes since Charlie Shanks has been in the server's box, Dave. Good footwork there from Tommy, but just didn't make the final adjustment.
Side
I
out.
like to hear those shoes squeaking, though, from Tommy Little. The ball still got in a little bit tight on his body, though.
16-10.
Kind of a strange serve there, and Tommy rubs up against the back wall there. But Charlie catching the deep right side wall crack.
17-10.
Love
Hold
this
it,
camera
right
angle
over.
there. I'm very surprised at that call there, as it looked like Tommy Little just misplayed the shot, and the ball was past him, but
17-10.
our referee gives him the benefit of the doubt there. No argument from Charlie. The Irish, Dave, actually aren't allowed to speak on the court growing up in handball. They actually have their gloves taken away from them.
Point.
Each junior, Dave, given one pair of gloves per year, and those gloves are removed if you speak on the court. You're not even allowed to say the score.
18-10.
I don't even think I believe anything you say anymore. Where do you pull that information out at?
Well, it's a region just below your lower back. I don't want to call it.
Don't give me the scientific name. Let me just guess. Okay.
Okay. Okay. And there's a beautiful
Side out.
flip kill there from Tommy Little.
I want to thank those from Ireland actually watching the live broadcast here.
10-18.
Here's the replay brought to you by Owen Gloves. I thought that was a pretty nice return from Charlie up to the roof.
This was a good chance to end the rally here, but didn't do enough with that. Went for that front wall, sidewall kill, but it popped up, and Tommy with the soft left hand paddle kill.
Now we're seeing a lot of players, as we briefly had John Bike here standing behind us in the booth, but we've seen some players that are in their 40s or upper 30s have some success. Is that a reflection on the level of play of today's players, or is it the longevity, how the game's evolved into be more methodical? What do you think the result is on
Well,
that?
I think it's a combination of a couple of factors, Dave. One being that it shows that experience can really pay dividends in this game. If you're able to maintain your fitness and stay relatively injury-free and use that experience, it can overcome those 30-plus years that you have on your legs.
We see guys like Matt Heiber at our pro stop in November, who's in his 40s, play really good ball, make it into the quarterfinals. Tommy Little's 38 years young. Dan Armijo having success at the Nationals this year, making it into the quarters at almost 50 years of age. John Bike, 45, qualifying again, 26 years after he first qualified.
Well, you see that a lot, Dave, in boxing now, which is somewhat similar to handball. It's a one-on-one sport, which is incredibly grueling, but a lot of the best boxers,
10,
Dave, in their
18.
mid-30s and beyond now.
Short.
And handball's the type of game, Dave, where you're constantly improving, and if you're able to
Second serve.
maintain your fitness, you can keep improving in this game. And what you lose potentially in a first
Side
step,
out.
you can gain with a more offensive offhand, a better ceiling game, a better serve, any number of shots that you can pick up and improve along the way.
18-10.
I see that when I speak truthfully, you have no interest, so I'll go back to my usual style. And that was a very strange shot there from Charlie, as somehow Tommy fought off that return of serve. It looked like it would be an ace. Beautiful shot there from Charlie
Point.
Shanks. Went to his Irish whip there, and now just 2 points.
19-10.
2 points away is Charlie Shanks from defeating Tommy Little here.
Look at that rocket
Point.
from Charlie Shanks. Just a beautiful shot.
It was hit so hard it almost stayed up for Tommy. Got his hand underneath it.
20-10.
This is game and match point. Chance to move into the quarterfinals. Actually, Charlie's getting race for 8 points here
Side out.
if he gets this win.
You're right. The ceiling works. The ceiling works.
This would be consecutive quarterfinal appearances for Charlie Shanks, putting him well inside that top 6 in the race standings. A lot depends, Dave,
10-20.
on how he does tomorrow against Alan Garner as far as his year-to-date ranking goes. Remember,
Point.
he is defending a 6th place finish here last year, so if he doesn't do better than 6th place, he won't pick up any additional points on his ranking.
11-20.
Basically, Dave, that's just a fancy way of saying that
Point.
each tournament drops after 12 months or is
12-20.
replaced by the newest edition of that tournament. So last year's US Open will be replaced by this year's US Open. So players such as Andy Nett, who didn't play in the US Open last year, are just gaining points, while players like Charlie Shanks, a great shot there from Tommy Little, who did play here last year and accrued 6th place points, which is somewhere in the range of 4 points, will just maintain that same point
13-20.
total.
So even though Charlie can make it further than Andy, Andy can make up more points in the standings than does Charlie.
That's right. And you look at somebody like Tommy Little or myself, Dave, who
Point.
had quarterfinal appearances here last year. I lost here. I'll lose those points, so my ranking points will drop. Tommy Little's will also drop should he go on and lose this match.
So you're losing pure points on the rankings, which is
14-20.
could be drastic in some cases.
Well, in mine, it will signal the end of my career.
Again, this is you're like Cher. You've had like 12 farewell tours. That means we'll see you at the next stop.
Well, I'll be at the next stop. It's just a matter of how long can I maintain that top 8, and then it'll just keep sliding,
You might have to qualify, is what you're saying.
which I won't be able to do.
Okay.
So I will try to qualify. I don't have much confidence that I will qualify, though.
20-14.
20 serves 14. Charlie Shanks serving here to Tommy Little. And this is for the match, and he gets it with a deep crack. Charlie Shanks defeats Tommy Little 21 to 16, 21 to 14. Tommy Little put a nice little fight here, but he was unable to defeat Charlie Shanks. The replay brought to you by Pima Medical Institute.
And this match, Dave, similar to our last match with John Iglesias and Nadia Alvarado. 2 relatively close games, but it was Nadia Alvarado defeating John Iglesias. And in this match, it's Charlie Shanks defeating Tommy Little. Not really an upset, Dave, despite Tommy Little being ranked higher than Charlie Shanks. I think a lot of people predicting 2 close games here. I know, David, I said on the Race for 8 Live this morning that I did predict Charlie Shanks in 2 close games. That's called a blowhard. Blow hard? When you toot your own
Horn?
blow horn.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. The other
had
thing.
the wrong lingo.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And I hope your kids aren't listening.
Well,
You have to get the adult ID pass in order to watch
this
the
is
broadcast.
the internet.
All right. Hey, we're going to take a quick break because we have the Dave Chapman double A-Ron match coming up right around the corner. That's Aaron Garner, brother of Alan, who is a really good handball player. We're going to catch him and the current national champion, Dave Chapman, coming up next. You stick around for more Race for 8 action live here across the internet with Dave Fink and yours truly. We'll be back in just a bit. All brought to you by Simple Green.
Hello, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green, the finest non-toxic cleaner in the world. For more than 35 years, I have worked to establish truth in labeling laws. Many products misrepresent their safety and efficacy. I am so certain you will find that Simple Green does everything the label states safely, that if you're not 100% satisfied, I will refund your purchase. For more information, go to simplegreen.com.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
For 20 years, the Inner City Handball Association has educated, mentored, and served young people through handball. Young people that participate in the Inner City Handball Association programs have a high graduation rate from high school and continue on to college. Inner City Handball teams are good athletes, good students, and good ambassadors for the sport of handball. We need your help to continue our work. Inner City Handball Association is a registered 501c3 tax-exempt charity. Please donate today. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. Our non-toxic, biodegradable, all-purpose cleaner works great for cleaning. Thank you. Non-toxic, biodegradable, Simple Green. It's great for cleaning.